Greetings and salutations, viewers. I'm StarPrincessHLC, and welcome back to Interactive Horror Stories. When we last left off, we looked at After Funeral. We got some bizarre story about a guy dealing with the loss of his son and possibly bringing him back from the dead. Now we're heading into Crystal Skull. No, not that crappy Indiana Jones movie, don't you worry. It's just something with a crystal skull. Let's see what happens. You are a king who is loved by his people. You have a serious problem, though. Your only child, Juliana, has an incurable disease and she is dying. You hear about a crystal skull which can cure illnesses and let people have visions. It is brought to your place from the continent of America, but your man warned you that the skull might be cursed. Possibly related to aliens, but let's not talk about that. Will the crystal skull bring health to the princess or doom? Well, let's see what happens. Being a king is hard. Being a good king is even harder. It's good to be the king. You know this well as the sole ruler of a European kingdom in the age when America is discovered. Okay, so it would be kind of weird if it was modern day, just saying. It has been 25 years since you ascended the throne. Your subjects are content with your rule. Your country is in peace and the people are wealthy. But there is something wrong with your life. Yeah, it's not that good to be the king, I guess. Your daughter Juliana is ill. She's only 18 years old, and she has got an illness that nobody could cure yet. Princess is dying, and she is your only child and heir to the throne. Every doctor you could find tried to cure. You've tried almost everything. Almost. We haven't tried selling our souls to Satan yet. Also 18 years old. That's surprisingly old, considering I think most girls died in childbirth around that age during the olden days, but I digress. You have been informed about a miraculous artifact unearthed in the continent of America. It is a human skull made of crystal. Because why the hell not? It amazes the scholars because no method is known to carve up, shall we say, such an excellent shape of a skull out of a crystal. The skull doesn't belong to the world that you know, but to an ancient civilization that has been lost. Aliens! Probably, I don't know. But what amazes the scholars is not just the impossible creation. The skull is told to bring miracles to whom touches it with their bare hands. You just found it and you're already coming up with this stuff, just saying. Some people tell that they saw visions from the future. Some tell that they saw how the human race has originated. And some tell that the skull can cure their illnesses. Those couldn't be cured with their medication available to your era. Naturally, you ordered your best men to bring the miraculous skull to the palace. It's midnight now. You are in Juliana's chamber. She's lying in her bed, holding your hand as you sit by her bed. No candles are lit inside. Full moon enlightens the princess's chamber, shining on her long blonde hair and blue eyes. She is too weak. Her skin is pale. She has under-eye bags, showing her illness. You already suffered the loss of your wife 10 years ago, and now you can't stand seeing your only daughter slowly die. Juliana asks you with a soft voice, Father, am I going to die? I won't allow that! She smiles. I know, Father. You are a mighty king. I know that you will do the best by your subjects and me. Oh, she's so gullible, isn't she? The door of the chamber is knocked on. The servants generally don't disturb the royal family members at night, so it must be something important. Come in. A brunette boy, one of your servants, gets inside the chamber of politeness. He looks at you and says, Your Majesty, the artifact has been brought. You have been waiting for this moment for a long time. I'm gonna say goodnight to my daughter first and say I will come back. After you kiss Juliana's forehead and say I will come back, she brings your hand to her pale lips and kiss it. Then you leave Juliana alone in her chamber. Now to note, this is just a show of affection. It's not supposed to be creepy. Just expect the creepiness to come later on, not from the girl kissing her dad. At the exit of Juliana's chamber, you see Sir William, one of the knights those were appointed with the task of bringing the ancient skull. He is a strong man with black hair and a round beard. He wears gloves and holds a bag. Your Majesty, he says, and kneels before you. Signal him to stand up. Let's go to my study chamber. Sir William follows you as you walk to your study chamber. He must be very noisy while doing it, just clanging away in his armor. The chamber is well lit with silver candelabras. All the furniture classy. It is a king's study room after all. He's gotta be in a lap of luxury while he reads. There is only one chair. It is for you. You sit on it. Sir William stands by you and slowly pulls the artifact from his bag. And then he decides to sit on your lap and crushes you and you die. The end. No. You push the book on the study desk to open space for the artifact. Here it is, he says, and gently puts the crystal skull on the study desk. The skull is truly a masterpiece if it is crafted by humans. All the details of a human skull are printed with care on raw crystal. Lights coming from the candles are refracted inside the crystal, gaining various colors of a rainbow. Ooh, it's magnificent, but you said something sinister, something that doesn't belong to our world. Did you knights touch the skull? Yes, we did touch the skull with our bare hands, and we all had visions. We took glances from our futures. Some of us saw how they will die. Some of us saw our grandchildren. He continues, but maybe we shouldn't have touched the skull. You think? The day we were about to leave, a native man came to us. He looked like the chief of his tribe. He knew little of our language, but he shouted some words that we understand. Or that we could understand. Cursed! No touch! No touchy! So we haven't touched the skull with our bare hands again. I know that our princess needs to find a cure. I also know that we received reliable information about the magical powers of the skull when it comes to incurable diseases. But your majesty, I have got a very bad feeling about this skull. I believe that the wise decision is to throw this skull to the sea. Well, let's go balls deep into it and say, I can't let Juliana die, she will touch the skull. The knight sighs, as you wish, your majesty, but if you are going to bring the skull to her, I wish you would wear gloves. I've got to wear gloves for niceness. You look for gloves around the study chamber. Sir William pulls his own gloves off. I think you wish Juliana to touch the skull as soon as possible. Let's not wait for servants to find your gloves, he says, and gives you them. You wear your gloves and hold the crystal skull with your covered hands. Let me bring the skull to Juliana. You thank Sir William for his services and let him go. You carry the skull to Juliana's chamber. You enter her chamber and see that she hasn't slept yet. She rises up and sits on her bed. She looks at the skull in awe. It looks marvelous and scary. You approach Juliana and let her touch the skull. Boop. As Juliana touches the skull, she closes her eyes and doesn't react to anything in the external world. You understand that she is having a vision. After 10 seconds, she opens her eyes with a gasp. I saw things. I don't know how to describe them. They were pitch-black creatures, so ugly. Their eyes, they were red as flames, and they all stared at me. She starts to cry. Please keep this thing away from me. Please. And I want to be alone. So you decide to keep the skull in your study room and let your daughter sleep. After this tiring day, you go to your chamber. There are no guards at the door. You just trust everybody in the palace. You are a loved king, because chances are I'm not going to be assassinated anytime soon. Unless I mess with things that I shouldn't, aka the crystal skull. The furniture are luxurious in this chamber too. You take a glance at your reflection in the mirror. Sure, I'll examine myself. You take pride in how you look. You are a middle-aged man, but you still look as handsome as you were young. Your looks are an important factor that makes you a charismatic leader, besides being fair and wise. Okay, I'm going to bed. You wear your nightgown and get in your bed. It is a bed for 2 people, but you haven't slept with anyone since your wife passed away. You have a secret that you keep from everyone. Sometimes you hug the second pillow in your bed, as if it was someone you love. Oh good, he would do well with a body pillow. You do this since your childhood. Nobody needs to know it. Not even your dead wife. It doesn't take long for you to fall asleep. Father, you wake up to Juliana's voice. She gently holds your shoulder. You look at her. She has a happy smile on her face. Her skin is not pale, but saturated with life. She no longer has bags under her eyes. I feel wonderful. She takes a few steps back and starts dancing. You laugh with happiness, stand up, and hug her. Julia walks in the corridors of the palace, dancing and laughing. You and the people of the palace are very happy to see her this way. She used to be like a ghost before. You plan a feast and invite all the lords of the kingdom. A few days later, every lord arrives to the capital city to celebrate the health of the princess. At the feast, Juliana is the center of everybody's attention. She talks with everyone joyfully, makes jokes, makes people laugh. When the feast is over and it's midnight, everybody goes to the chambers reserved for them. You accompany Juliana to her chamber. You put a kiss on her forehead before letting her sleep. Then you go to your own chamber and fall asleep in peace. Oh, but something's about to go wrong, or isn't it? You wake up to the sound of the knocking on your chamber's door. It's still night. You wonder who dared to wake you up at this hour. Sure, I'll open the door. It's the same brunette boy who had informed you about the arrival of the skull. Your Majesty, I am deeply sorry for disturbing you at this hour, but there is something wrong. There are laughing sounds coming from the princess's chamber. It's her voice, but it doesn't sound normal. Oh, let me check it. You walk to Juliana's chamber like the servant said. Hysterical laughters come from inside. You decide to enter. I would have taken a weapon with me, but I guess not. You see Juliana at the balcony of her chamber, facing back you. I'm guessing, her back's towards me. She laughs under the pale moon. You approach her and put your hand on her shoulder. She turns back to you. Her face is normal, smiling. Just when you were going to ask if she is okay, she responds, I know it looks funny, Father, but I am fine. Please leave me alone, she says. She stops laughing, gets in her bed with a smile on her face. You decide to leave her alone. You go back to your chamber. You can't sleep. You feel something is wrong. So wrong. The door of your chamber opens. There is only one person who is allowed to enter without knocking on the king's door. So you understand that it's Juliana who entered. Either that or an assassin. But nah, you're a good king. Like you guessed, you see your daughter's silhouette. She closes the door and approaches you with a smile on her face. Juliana? She leans down to you gently. Gently pulls the other pillow that you don't use. Juliana is dead, she says, pushing the pillow on your face. You struggle, but whoever or whatever is trying to kill you is too strong. The king is dead! Long live the king, she shouts. Why is your own daughter committing patricide/regicide and referring herself as king rather than queen? That doesn't make sense at all. That is the end of your reign and life. Oh, there are 3 endings with this one. Oh boy! Alright, let's keep trying this again. See what other interesting things we get out of this. Let's see here. Eventually, yes, we'll go with that. We'll just say, yeah, you're gonna die, sweetie, sorry. She sighs. It is so sad. I am a princess with ambitions. Ambitious to become a ruler, and it is certainly not about personal gain. I want to continue what you do. I want to be a fair ruler and make our people happy. She continues, but I think this is life. Death conquers all. Oh, okay, come on in. Alright, I'm just gonna go to the artifact. Sorry, sweetie, I'm going. At the exit of Juliana's chamber. Yep, okay. Come on, let's go to the study. And I'm gonna touch it this time. You're about to touch the skull. Sir William holds your hand to prevent you from touching the skull. Your Majesty, I think I need to tell you something about the skull before you touch it. Oh, yes, okay. I trust your insight. Well, actually, no, let's just touch the skull with her, and we'll touch it with our bare hands, because why the hell not? You ignore the knight, touch the skull with bare hands, and instantly find yourself in a vision. In your vision, you are in the middle of a ritual. There are about 100 naked humans around you, forming a circle whose center is you. They're all prostrating themselves, worshipping you. Oh, okay. That's normal. It's nighttime. The plain area is enlightened with torches and stars. You see a stuffed pyramid nearby. It is made of huge stone blocks. You realize that you are the crystal skull. You can't see yourself, but you are completely aware of what you are. These naked people are worshipping you, the crystal skull. Then the vision changes. Now it is not night, morning. It is raining like hell. There is a huge flood. Unclothed, red-skinned humans scream and get drowned because of the disastrous turret, and you, as the skull, drift away. You open your eyes and turn back to who you really are. The good King Sir William looks at you, I'm gonna tell him what happened. You tell him what you have seen in your vision. Yes, the skull is mysterious. I can't understand it. I hope it doesn't bring harm to our princess, Your Majesty, he says. Well, I guess I'm bringing it to her. Yep. Here you go, honey. It's time to be possessed by something. She holds the skull, rubs her hand around. Nothing happens. Oh, okay, because I touched it. Is something supposed to happen, she asks, then gives the skull back. Then she continues. Let's wait for tomorrow morning. Maybe it shows its effect then. So you decide to leave Juliana alone and let her sleep. The skull will be staying in your study chamber, staring at you with unblinking eye sockets. Yep, okay. Let's look at what we look. Yep, okay, we're still looking awesome. Yay, me. Alright. Nope, still nothing new there. Wake in the morning, something is wrong. You can't move your arms. Not only your arms, you can't move any part of your body. You are paralyzed. And suddenly your body starts to move involuntarily. It stands up without your consent. Oh, good. I'm getting possessed. Your feet bring you to the mirror. You see your face in the mirror. You are terrified, but there is a grin on your face. You are no longer in control of your body. You are merely a bystander of what it does. It brings you to the throne room with confident steps. Soldiers salute you, to be exact. As you enter. It sits on the throne and shouts with your voice, "Bring me my daughter!" You watch guards accompany Juliana. She comes into your presence and shouts, "I don't want her to suffer anymore! Kill her!" Juliana is shocked. "What? Father, please!" She is not the only surprised one in the room. Everybody looks at each other with shock and shouts, "Your head! Your king! Execute her!" "Oh, you heard your king! Execute her!" You try to shout, but your screams are buried inside the head of the king. Juliana gets on her knees and cries in despair, but it's in vain. Two black-masked decapitators come into your presence. One holds the crying blonde girl, the other holds the sword. You can do nothing but watch as your precious daughter gets decapitated. Her head falls down and rolls to the throne. Floor gets filled with her blood. Days pass. It continues to control your body. You mourn for your daughter inside the body that once belonged to you. You watch it rule your country with an iron fist. It orders all the churches to be burnt and priests to be hanged. Of course, your people uprises against the new king. It suppresses the revolt with violence. Anyone who stood against the king gets tortured. Eyes are poked, skins are flayed. So it orders people to worship it as a deity. The Gold King declares war against other countries. Or the God King, sorry. Maybe he was dressed in all gold. Maybe he was partially related to Midas. Who knows? It doesn't take long for the other countries to form an alliance against the God King. In a fateful battle in your capital, the God King loses his horse. The evil king gets killed while desperately searching for a horse. That's pretty sad. My kingdom for a horse! And this is how your soul finally breaks free to heaven to see your family once again. Interesting. Okay, so let's see what happens if I don't actually go and use the skull in the first place. Actually, yes. Come in. I'm gonna go to the artifact. Let's go to my study. And, did you touch the skull? And I trust your insight. Let's do it. I'm glad that you agree with me, Your Majesty. So he packs the crystal skull back into the bag. You two get outside the palace and get on your horses to ride to the docks. When you reach the docks, Sir William finds stones and fills the bag with it. Then he throws the bag, your only hope for curing Juliana, to the bottom of the dark sea. I know how hard it must be, but maybe this is the best for all of us. You hope that he is right. Yeah, it just means my daughter's gonna die no matter what I do. Either she gets her head decapitated, either she goes crazy and is turned evil, booga booga, or she just dies from illness. Good times. Oh, well, I guess we'll find out what happens in Crystal Skull 2 later on. Although the next one is in Evil Beneath the Ground, so look forward to what that's going to bring. But for now, this is StarPrincessHLC saying thank you very much for watching, and have a fond farewell.